Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are good. Um, After our last video, I hope you guys get the gist of what happened or what's happening in my life. Whew. But I hope we are all good, myself included. I hope you're good. Are you good, ma'am? I hope you're good. Guys, I don't know, man. I feel like this is like a diary session for me. So, as much as the content might be a bit sad, sometimes I just need to let it out so that I don't hold on to things and I don't keep things inside, right? But today we're going to talk about something else. Something a bit, I won't say something a bit better than what we spoke about last time, or something a bit or less serious, but I want us to tackle motherhood as a whole, right? Not as a whole, because I'm also still learning and I'm a fairly new mom, I'd say, because it's only been 3 years. I'm a new mom, and yeah, I want us to talk about motherhood, right? And the reason why in my previous videos I said that motherhood is difficult, I want us to talk about that, because people seem to have the assumption that when you have help or you have a partner that helps you, or a partner that is there and present for you and your child, then motherhood should be smooth. But it's not. It's not, especially if one of you guys is going to go downhill while the other one holds everything. Hence, I believe it when they say that for a relationship to work, one has, sometimes a person gives in 80% and the other one gives in 20%, because whoa, wow, guys. But anyway, let's get into it, guys. The reason why I said, personally, for me, motherhood is difficult, guys. Motherhood is difficult because you never know when you're doing the right thing, right? And you never know when you're making the right decisions pertaining your child. Sometimes you will think it's the right decision, but the people around you will see it as something different. For example, let's say you want to take your child to a certain school. To you, it will be a good decision because as a parent, you know what you want and you know the environment you want your kid to be in, and you know that or you've seen the environment. Obviously, you've been to that school, you've checked it out. But to someone else, it will be like, why are you wasting so much money? Why don't you get a stay in nanny? Why don't you do this and that? Why don't you leave the child with a grandmother? Like, guys, guning, it's a lot. It's a lot, and hence I said I feel like I do have help, but my help is limited because I don't have a lot of people around Joburg. I literally have my sister and my aunt, and my aunt works night shifts most of the time. My sister also has a new baby. Now I'm telling my sister's business, but my sister has a toddler as well. So it feels like it's a lot of work if I had now to give her my toddler and her own, and now she has to tackle all of this one man. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So for me, motherhood is difficult, guys. I don't want to lie. I don't want to glorify it, and I'm not trying to scare people from having kids. All I'm saying is have a child because you are ready. Don't have a child because the next person is convincing you to have a child. Don't have a child because you are trying to keep a partner. Don't have a child because everyone else around you is having a baby, Have a child because your heart wants to have a child. Have a child because you are ready to have a child. Have a child because financially you can afford that child. I have a particular friend, but I take her as a sister. We work together, right? She always says this. She's Zulu, and you understand why me mentioning Zulu is important. Um, she's Zulu, and she always says to me, Bonolo, if you can't afford the child that you have right now, do not have a second child. And I know other people will say, yeah, but Mwana in the olden days, Mwana are only because of money. Mwana uja everything that you have in the house. If your parents could do it, why can't you do it? It's a lot. But the truth is, children are expensive. One, kids always get sick. Two, you need to always have finances ready. If you don't have a medical aid, you don't have savings, you must at least have something to fall back on. I understand you're gonna say, yeah, but you can take your child to a public clinic. We need to be realistic, because if you're gonna say, yeah, but you can't say you can't have a child because you can't afford medical aid, or you can't afford a medical cover, or you can't afford this and that. Guys, kids are expensive. Kids are expensive. Let no one lie to you. Paying school fees is expensive. Taking care of that child is expensive. It's an expense, especially if you're not breastfeeding. I was not breastfeeding. That's an expense on its own. Nappies, wait. What they don't tell you is your child could be fine now. An hour later, your child has a running stomach. You've got to just be ready at all times. Food for kids, expensive. Everything is just an expense, right? Okay, sharp, you have a child. If you are lucky, let's say, or you are blessed, maybe your parent is still alive. I don't have a mom, so my mom is not there. I can't just, when I feel like it's time out, I take my child and I dump her there by my mother's house. It's not possible. My mother-in-law is there. Yes, she helps me where she can, but my mother-in-law also has a 9 to 5. So it doesn't balance. And I did not make a baby for my mother-in-law. I did not make a baby for my mom. I made a baby because I thought I was an adult and I thought I was ready. Was I? I wasn't. I was never ready for the, like, having the child here is a blessing, and you enjoy seeing your child grow, like your child's milestones, all of those things. You enjoy them. But I think what I'm trying to say is, you never really get to know what it's like to have a baby until you actually have one, right? Because with me, it's like I realized a lot of things when I was within the situation I was in, more especially with like I'm here, I need to work. Because also I'm one person who can't I can't sit and not do anything. I need to keep busy. And with keeping busy, I mean, even during my maternity leave, I was already asking to go back to work because I just wanted to be busy. It's lockdown. I'm in the house with the baby. I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is wake up, prepare for my husband to go to work, and now take care of this child until he comes back, takes over the night shift so that I can rest a bit. But he can't take over the whole night shift because he has to wake up in the morning. Where? No. So going back to what I was saying about this colleague of mine, right? Guys, she is one person who has, I feel like she's been real from the get-go. She always says this to me: don't have a child if you don't have a second child if you can't afford the first one. And not that she's saying she's coming from a bad place, but she's right. I understand where she's coming from, guys. because you have a second child. Mentally, you're not okay. I'm not okay to have a second child. That much I know. I want a second child. I know I want one. But also, I'm fine with not having a second child. But I'm not fine with my child not having a sibling. So I'm caught in between having a second child and just letting it be as it is right now and raising this one to just be the only child. But because I basically grew up as an only child, if we can call it that, it's not nice, man. It gets lonely. You have no one to connect to because you don't have as much as, yes, like when I say my sister is actually my cousin, but I call her my sister because in the black culture, your uncle's daughters or your uncle's sons, they're like your brothers and sisters. So she's my sister, hence I say my sister. So she always also assures me all the time that if you need a break, bring her. If you need this, child, if you need this, I'm available. If you need that, I'm available. But as an adult as well, I am one, as I said, I feel, as I said in my last video, that I've isolated myself so much from people that it's hard for me to ask for help. It's hard for me, even if I'm going through a lot, it's hard for me to just take my phone and call my sister and say, I'm not okay. You need to come get your baby. I would rather suffer. Like, I'm at that point where I feel like, you know what? I can't leave my child with someone else and expect that person to take care of my child while I take care of me. To me, it's being selfish. I feel like it's being selfish. And I know someone out there will say, but if you're not okay, how do you expect to take care of your child, right? Hence, I feel like I've suppressed a whole lot of emotions, that I don't deal with a lot of things. Certain times I don't deal with things. I just put things at the back of my mind because my child needs to come first. My child needs to always be okay. My child needs to always be on point. Like, my child must be healthy. I must get rid of that feeling that I am not a good mom, or that feeling of, am I doing enough? Is this enough right now? Because right now, guys, my daughter is 3. But if I tell you that right now, as it stands, I'm already stressing about where is she gonna start primary. After primary, where is she gonna go for high school, varsity? Like, it's a lot. So motherhood, guys, is not as easy as we make it out to be. Because I know a lot of people will look at especially those who are on my WhatsApp, they'll look at my WhatsApp videos and think, yeah, but you seem to have this. Guys, I'm only showing you a portion, 20% of what happens in the household. Like, I don't want nobody in my house, because this house is always dirty because there's a child, and I don't want people to say, we understand you have a child. No, I want my child also to be comfortable. So I can't start packing things away because people, yes, when you say you come into my house, I'll clean here and there, but you can still see that, hi man, this house is a bit messy here and there. It's our couches now, they've got maps. I don't know where these maps are going, because there's a child in this house, and she does what she wants. She doesn't do what we tell her. One thing also about kids is, kids do what they want. They don't do what you tell them. You might set your rules. You might, I want my house to be like this, I want my house to be like that. Kids will humble you. They'll show you that we are the breadwinners. They are the breadwinners. So motherhood for me, it hasn't been great, man. It's been tough. I think I only started enjoying it last year, late last year, like October, November. And my child was what? She was 2 already. That's when I started enjoying motherhood, because then I started embracing that, you know what, I am a mom, and my daughter does what she wants, whenever she wants, however she wants to, and you can't reason with her. So yes, I will teach her manners, I'll teach her how to do this, I'll teach her how to do that. But it's difficult because, as I said, kids reason like kids. They don't reason like adults, and they don't care whether you want things to be done a certain way. Abeko lapho, like they don't care. Kids don't care. Initially, kids don't care. And another thing I wanted us to talk about regarding motherhood as well is, guys, you will never know whether you're a good mom or not. You'll never know. You'll hear it from other people that you're a good mom, but when you look at it yourself, you'll never know whether you're a good mom or not. Like, it's the now, because my daughter is now vocal, and I am learning her as much as she's also learning me. I'm learning that, you know what, every little thing that she does, I take it into, like, I embrace it. And now, this year I took a decision that, you know what, I am going to go back to church, because I wasn't going back to church. I took a decision to go back to church because I want my child to have roots, right? To have a foundation, basically. Even if she grows up to choose a different religion, it's okay. But because right now we are here, I wanted to know God for who God is according to her, and for her, not for me. I'm gonna teach her here and there who God is. And so I'm trying this. I don't know, guys, I don't know if I'm making sense, but what I'm trying to say is, with me going back to church, I've also introduced now, whenever I'm driving with her, like, I'll be playing gospel music. And this other day, we were like, it was just me and her in the house. Her dad was not here. And I was washing sheets. So I was going to hang them outside. And she started singing a certain song that, because when I play music, if I play a song, I don't mind playing a song all day, like all day. So I heard her sing that particular song, right? And I was surprised, because I'm like, she's so young. How does she notice these things? But that's what I want for her. I want her to have a foundation. I want her to know that, like, I know that as much as my mom passed away, one thing my mom always wanted for me was to go to church, was to know God. And she even had a notebook where she asked one of my aunts, please make sure that when I'm gone, my daughter continues to go to church. And I used to go to church all the time. When I was still staying with my dad, all the time. Came to Joburg. City life, city girls. So now, what I'm saying is, my daughter also, I'm noticing that I want her to have a background, to know that even if I'm not there, my mom taught me this. If she wants to continue with it, let her continue. If she doesn't want to continue with it, at least I would have tried from my side, because I never want to leave my child without knowledge. I never want to leave my child without any wisdom. And hence I say, you will never know when you're doing enough. Because, guys, kids do the most innocent yet naughty and risky and scary things. If I had to tell you, there was a day I was driving to work with her. I was going to drop her off at school. I'm driving. I've got my handbag. In my handbag, so I always have my nails done all the time, right? So one of my nails, at that time I had artificials, not my real nails. So I had, one of my nails was lifting, and I knew that I don't like having 9, 8, 6 nails. My nails must be, they must be 10. 10. There's a reason why the nails are 10, right? And your fingers are 10. So one of my nails was lifting. So I decided, let me get glue. I got the glue, put it in my bag, in my handbag. And as we're driving, this child gets out of his seat, her car seat, right? Takes my bag. I'm driving. Obviously, I'm focused on what's happening on the road. I'm not focused on this person behind me. I'm thinking she's busy with her own things because she's usually singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, doing her own things. Guys, please tell me why that child opened my handbag. And I remember it was 5, no, it was not, was it 5 days? It was not 5 days. It was a month before my birthday. That child opened my bag. She took out the glue. She opened it. And because she's a child, she doesn't know the dangers of what she's holding, or how dangerous what she's holding, whatever she's holding is. I think it fell, it fell on her thigh, right? And because it's glue, it started eating her up. It's like acid. It started eating her skin up. That wound took about 4 to 5 months to heal. Guys, when we went to we went to the doctor. The doctors were not available. We went to not the clinic. We went to a pharmacy. There was a nurse there. We went to the nearest pharmacy. We got the nurse. The nurse gave us this other cooling thing to make sure that it cools the heat from her thigh, right? Guys, I had never in my life seen my husband that angry. Like, he was so mad. And him being mad at me, and me being mad at myself, and my daughter crying, that broke me. It broke me because obviously I understood my husband being mad at me. It was like, what happened was irresponsible, right? Number 2, me being mad at myself was, why did I put the glue in my bag? Are nails really that important? My child is in danger because of me. Guys, I could not hold I was a mess. I remember going in and the nurse asking what's happening, and my husband talking to her, and one of the ladies there, the cashiers there, was like to me, she could see I was in a state, guys. I was crying. That lady tried to calm me down. Oh my God. It looks like all my videos I'm going to be crying. That lady, I remember, she's white. I remember her holding me, telling me, Mommy, it's okay. It's not your fault. Kids are naughty. This and that. Guys, all I thought about is, you're irresponsible. You're not a good mom. How could you do this? Why are you so ignorant? You almost killed this child. Because now I was thinking, if she had drank that thing, what would have happened? Yo. Okay, that happened. She got healed, but now she's got the mark on her thigh. Literally, it's there. It's a big, big mark, big scar. And now I'm just like, my daughter's gonna grow up one day and she's gonna ask me what happened, and I'm gonna have to explain to her that this is what happened, this is what I did, or this is what you did, but you did not know better. And because I'm an adult and I'm responsible for you, then automatically it becomes my fault. Guys, kids, they'll humble you. Nah. And someone else will say, yeah, there are people who wish to have kids. You're not appreciative. Guys, what I can tell you is, not every mom who is a mom or who has given birth enjoys motherhood from the beginning. Not every mother enjoys motherhood from the beginning. It took a lot for me to be where I am right now. it really took a lot. And right now, I think, not that I think, I know, I'm actually happy that my daughter and I are starting to connect in ways that I never thought we would. Like right now, I'm seeing a child that I am raising, and her milestones are just crazy. You look at her videos from 2 3 months back, and you're like, how did you get here? How did you learn this? When did you learn this? The other day, I think it was 2 nights back, she was telling me, so apparently her and her dad, when it's bedtime, they do this thing of counting stars, right? Imaginary stars, but the stars have names, so it's like a family tree thing. And she was saying it to me, and I was like, guys, ngikhulisile umntana mkhulile, man. Like my child is now a human being. I know they are human beings from the day they are born or the day they are conceived, but like my child is a human being. My child now knows how to tell us that she loves us without us saying it to her first. Like, she knows how to just go to her safest place, according to her, or her safest person is my husband, her dad. So now she knows very well that the first thing when she wakes up, the first person she talks to is her dad. Uzalwe yini, but sikho lapho. So, like, I want my daughter to have a relationship that I have, to have the same relationship I have with my dad. I want her to have that relationship with her dad. And because I am seeing it happen, I'm seeing her grow into this young, a fierce young girl. It's so beautiful to engage and to see who she is becoming, and what our love has created. But if you can wait, please wait it out. I will still repeat it. If you can wait, please wait it out. There's no rush. There's no guys, your clock is not, okay? You can have a child at 39. You can have a child at 42. If you feel you are not mature enough to have a kid, don't. If you as the woman, you feel that you are not ready, please communicate it with your partner. Don't have a child. I feel like my regret is that I missed out on 2 years of my daughter's life because I was just out. Guys, 2022, I spent most of the year, most of my weekends, because obviously during the week you are working, so you are occupied. I spent most of my year in bed. I spent most of my weekends sleeping. I did not want to do dates. I did not want to play. I did not want to clean after a kid. I did not want to see nobody. I wanted to be with me. I wanted to sleep. And I realized that it was becoming unhealthy when I would sleep from 8 o'clock in the evening on a Friday, wake up 8 o'clock the next morning, brush my teeth, go back to bed, or prepare something for my daughter to eat. My husband would do the feeding, go back to bed, sleep until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, wake up, take a bath, prepare lunch, chill on the couch, don't want to talk to anyone, don't want to play with no child. I feel like, man, I feel like my daughter just met me and I just met her this year. Because now I was horrible, man. And I understand why I was horrible, and I'm trying to be kinder to myself. I'm trying to do better as a mom. But whoa, I missed out two good years of my daughter's life because I was focused on I was not even focused on me. I don't know what was happening. I was not focused on me. I was not focused on her. I was not focused on my marriage. I was just living in limbo. I was living in limbo, and this year it 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 is better, man. I'm better. Uh, I think I've chosen to be peaceful. I've chosen to be at peace with where I'm at, with what I have, with what I can provide, with what God has given to me, and with just living life. I'm taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, because if right now, if I can tell you that there's a lot that happened in this short or in this quarter of the year, right? But nothing is gonna get me down, guys. I need to be alive, and I need to be alive for my daughter, because I know what it's like to grow up without a mom. So I don't want to send myself to an early grave because of stress, because of stroke, because of this and that. If my daughter, I want my daughter to enjoy having a mother, right? I want her to understand that it is also a privilege to have a mom. As much as people don't talk about this, it is a privilege to have both parents alive. It's a privilege that not everyone has, and not everyone gets to experience. So I want her to understand that it is a privilege for her to have me as her mom, and me as a mom that's alive, and me to also, it's also a privilege to me to have a daughter. It's a privilege for me to be a mom. I hope I'm making sense. But what I'm saying is, motherhood is not as glamorous as we make it out to be. It's just that we cannot be putting our problems out there and discouraging everyone. And we cannot be telling people that having a child is a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. It's really not a bad idea. You just need to be ready. I don't know what's gonna make you ready. Honestly, I don't know. I'm the last person to ask what, how, when, why. I don't know, guys, but just know that if you are gonna have a child, please make sure you also take care of your mental health, because I was okay when I was pregnant. I was okay throughout my pregnancy. I was happy. Well, my husband says I was horrible, but I was happy. According to the things that I can remember, I was happy. I think we need to ask my husband if my pregnancy was a happy one. But according to me, I was happy. Guys, when I had the child, whoa. Guys, we'll talk about this another time. But don't forget to love your kids also. It's not their fault. They did not ask to be here. Ooh, you as an adult, you decided. You as an adult, you did adult things, and you happened to get pregnant. So don't forget to love these little people, and don't forget to reassure them, to reaffirm them, and man, boost their confidence. Boost their confidence. If there's one thing I am proud of, is that my daughter is very confident. One thing I'm proud of is my daughter knows that we've got her back. Another thing I'm also proud of is that my daughter knows that we are a safe place. Anything that happens, that child will, she gonna tell on you. She tells on her teachers. Even before we get to school to fetch her, they report to us that this is what happened, and she said she's gonna tell you guys. And Guys, affirmations are important. Don't forget, as much as they might not understand it right now, but they will grow up to understand. They'll grow up to understand and to realize the importance of the things that they are saying and the things that they are putting out there to the universe, and the things, because obviously what you put out there, it will come back to you, especially if what you're putting out there is positivity. It's gonna come back to you. So yeah, guys, that's all I had to say for this video. I hope you guys are good. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And to those who are new here, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the family. We'll see you guys later. Bye.